What's up, everybody? Welcome to our show, #Grow or Go, right here in our podcast studio live in Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you guys for joining us today, whether you're joining us on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook with us, whether you're live on our webinar on Zoom. Want to welcome all of you guys and welcome you to the show today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Coach Cam. I'm one of the leadership coaches here with Rise Business Coaching, and we exist to help small business owners achieve their personal, professional, and financial goals through scaling and growing their business, their team, their employees, and obviously their lives as well. So we're excited because in just 5 short days, man, I'm telling you, 5 short days, we are kicking off our business boot camp right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And there are many of you guys that are going to be joining us for that. We are super excited about it. We have people coming in from across the country, actually across the world, to be here for this event. It's going to be live downtown Knoxville. We are super excited about it. And so if you have not gotten your tickets yet for that, make sure you do that. Go to riseusa.com/events. You can find out more information there, or you can send us a message, send us a text, send us a call, reach out to us. We would love to help you guys out and make sure you have all the information you need in order to be in the room. We have guest speakers that are going to be coming in. They're going to be talking on everything from sales to marketing to leadership to scaling to growing your business, employee engagement, you name it. We're talking about it, and we are super excited to just celebrate how 2023 has been for so many of you guys and get ready to launch into 2024 to really blow up our business and have massive success. And we can't wait to be a part of you guys through that process as well. So today, I've got my notes right here for you guys, because today, what I want to talk to you guys about is actually something I'm going to be talking about at the event as well. Honestly, it's one of my favorite topics to talk about, because it's fun, honestly. Like, it's so much fun being able to do this. And we're going to talk about marketing today. So hopefully you guys are taking some notes. I would highly encourage that. Take notes every time we hop on these calls. Grow or Go is every Tuesday, 12 o'clock Eastern time. But we're going to be talking about marketing today. And the reason I love this is because, like I said, marketing is fun. It's just getting attention. It's promoting yourself, getting yourself more known, making connections, and making your name synonymous with being the expert in your field and in your space. And there are so many different creative ways on how you can do this, but really this should be the number one priority in your business. Every day, your number one priority should be marketing, going out, getting attention, and getting yourself known. But here's the thing, if you're going to go out and you're going to get the attention, you need to do that with intention, right? Get attention with intention. If you're going to go out and market yourself, if you're going to go out and promote what you're doing, the problem that you solve, the successes that you're having in your business, the success that your clients are having with your business, if you're going to go out and promote that and put that out for everyone to see, you need to have an intentionality behind it. When I'm going and getting myself known, the whole purpose is I'm trying to, like I said earlier, I'm trying to make my name synonymous with being the expert in that field or in that industry, in that space. And that's going to create opportunities. That's going to create networking opportunities. It's going to create partnerships. It's going to bring the opportunity for you to be able to bring on potential new clients with you. It's going to create conversation. It's going to create curiosity about who you are and what you do. It's going to give you the opportunity to be able to educate people more on whatever that specific topic is. Like, there's so much that goes into this, but you need to be clear on what your goal is when you're marketing. So many of us are just going out and we're just putting out content on Instagram or on Facebook or on TikTok, but there's no real intention to it. Or we're going out in the community running your daily errands with no intention to actually make new connections as you're doing that. And here's what I want to start with is, guys, marketing is not just going on social media and making the Instagram posts. There are so many different forms of marketing, and it's not a one size fits all. It's not a, one thing is the only thing that's going to work kind of a thing. Like, you need to be doing a little bit of everything, right? But again, you need to do it with what? Intention. Not just doing it for the sake of doing it. There needs to actually be an intentionality and a purpose behind it as well. All right. So marketing should be your number one priority in business. We've talked about this before. It falls into three separate categories. You have marketing, you have your product, and then you have your sales, right? Marketing is most important because if you're not getting attention, if people don't know who you are, people don't know what you do, you ain't got no customers. Okay. You're not getting any new business if people don't know who you are. Okay, you've got to get new people in the pipeline constantly. You should be filling up the top funnel of that pipeline, and you're just funneling them down to be customers and clients with you. Okay, then comes your product, your service, the actual thing that you're promoting and selling. And you need to understand that to a T. Every team member that's a part of your organization, every staff member that's part of your organization, and then obviously you as the business owner, you've got to be very clear on what it is your product is. What is your service? What is it that you're actually promoting? Because I guarantee there are a lot of us that are actually confused with what our product is, or what our service is, or how it benefits the customer or the client, or what it is you're actually really selling. And we'll touch on that in just a second. And then the last thing is the sales. Hey, now listen, sales is the lifeblood of any business. You need sales. You need revenue. That's the scorecard. That's how we can measure the success that you're having in business. But that's not going to happen if you don't have a strong product or if you have a strong service. And that's not going to happen, or you're not going to be able to sell that if not enough people know about who you are and know about what you do. So you have to do this with a lot of intention. So you have your marketing, you have product, and then you have sales. That's the priority of which that falls under, because most businesses, if not all fall under the same issue. Your number one problem in business right now is you're in obscurity. Nobody knows you. And look, remember, best known product actually beats best product. Like if I were to ask you right now, what's the best soft drink in the country, or the best soda in the world? 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to immediately think about Coca-Cola. Why? Because they're just the best known. They might not be the best soda, but they're the best known, right? If I were to ask you number one comedian in the world, right? There might be different answers to that based on your exposure to that person, but I will tell you, highest paid comedian is Kevin Hart. Gets a lot of attention. Master when it comes to marketing. Right now, everybody's talking about Taylor Swift, right? No wonder she's a billionaire, right? So how intentional are you about getting attention, getting yourself known, so that way you can create more opportunity for yourself as well, right? An opportunity for your business, opportunity for your team to have success is super important, guys. If you're in obscurity, if nobody knows who you are, if nobody knows what you do, if I can't walk into your local mall right now and ask them, and just ask 100 people, poll 100 people, what's the best landscaping company in the area? If your name isn't on that list majority of the time, there's an issue. If you own a hair salon and I go and I poll 100 women and I ask them the top hair salon in the area and your name isn't majority on that list, there's an issue. You need to make marketing more of a priority. If you're a martial arts school and you're not the best known martial arts school in the area, there's an issue. Like that should be where your obsession is. How do you get everybody that's in your space to know who you are? And maybe that is just limited to just the area that you're living in. I don't know. Maybe that's just your market. But is there an opportunity to grow past that? True story. I come out of a small town in South Carolina called North Augusta. All right. Nobody even knows North Augusta, South Carolina. They always think about Augusta, Georgia immediately. That's where the Masters happens and all of that. North Augusta is across the border, right? So we're not in Georgia. We're actually in South Carolina, but we always confuse the two. So I just got to tell people I'm from Augusta. That's what I always have to do. Got to tell people I'm from Augusta, Georgia. And in that little small town, I got my career started. I started my career as a martial arts instructor. And I remember one of the goals I would always write down is I want every person in this area, in the Augusta area, to know who I am. Like that was the goal I would write down. Everybody that was in that population in Augusta, North Augusta, some of the surrounding areas, I wanted every person in that area to know who I was. I wanted to be able to walk into a restaurant and people immediately know who I am. I wanted to be able to walk into a grocery store, people immediately knew who I was. Not for me, but if I knew that I had that kind of awareness, if I knew I had that kind of attention, but also with that comes a lot of influence as well. If I knew I had that, I knew the opportunity for me to have success and be able to help more people. Now I look back on it, I was thinking way too small, way too small. Grant Cardone talks about getting 8 billion people to know who he is. It's an impossible goal, but he's going for it anyway. So for me, thinking of that little small town in Augusta, I wanted everybody there to know who I was. Now I look back and I'm like, man, why was I dreaming so small? Why do I not chase after 8 billion people? Like, what would I have to do to get in front of that many people? I took my first international trip last month. That was my first time ever traveling internationally. If I'm going to get that many people to know who I am, I need to get in front of a lot more people. So what's the cap for you? Like, how many people do you need to know who you are? Are you only focused on your small town or your area that you live in? Or are you trying to make a bigger impact than that? What does that look like? What would that take in order to get there? What kind of effort, what kind of work do you have to put in order for you to get to that point? That's the kind of mindset you got to start thinking around right now. So your number one problem is you're in obscurity and nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who you are. And you probably don't even have clarity on what it is you actually do. You might have an idea, but are you crystal clear? As the business owner, are you crystal clear? And then is your staff clear on that as well? Aaron has this saying all the time, confused mind finds failure. A confused mind finds failure. So if you're confused about what you do, who you are, your people are going to be confused too. And if they're confused, your customer's definitely confused. So how do you see clarity on that? That's exactly what I want to help you guys with, okay? So I want you to write this down. This is going to be the 3 W's, okay? The 3 W's. Who, what, why. We're going to nail down and we're going to really dive deep into who are you as a business. And there's so many different levels to this as well. Like there was an overall brand, a business, a company that I worked in. But within that company, I've made sure that I built my own personal brand within that company, right? So even as employees, don't think that, it's just about the overall company. Yes, it is, but you can build your own economy in that as well. That's how you become an irreplaceable employee. One of my favorite topics. So let's start with the who. This is actually a 2-parter, the who. First off is, who are you? Who are you as a company? Who are you as a business, right? Who are you as a person? Are you crystal clear on that? Is your story lined up? Like if you went and told one person who you are, like if you were to explain it to one person and then you go talk to another person, is it similar? Or are you kind of making it up as you go? Or are you crystal clear on what your messaging and what your story is? I'll tell you guys, stories sell. Authenticity wins. The more authentic you are, the more relatable you are, the easier it is for people to connect with you. So, who are you as a company? Who are you as a business? Who are you as a person? Are you crystal clear on that messaging and on that story? The next part of that, still staying under who is your ideal customer? Who are you marketing to? Who's your audience? Who are you talking to? So let's say you're posting on social media. If your messaging is all over the place, one time it seems like your messaging is going towards people that are looking to buy their very first home, but then another messaging, another post you have seems like you're talking to more along the lines of people that are looking to invest in a real estate property, and then the next post you make seems like you're just talking to actual like realtors. Like your messaging is all over the place. So you need to get streamlined with who your messaging is. Are you talking to other real estate agents? Are you talking to home inspectors? Are you talking to first-time home buyers? Are you talking to people that are looking for an investment? Like, who's your audience? If it's all over the place, you're hitting no one. So you've got to get really specific with who your marketing is tailored towards. Again, I came out of the martial arts industry. Our marketing, our audience was not kids, it was parents. But then you get even more specific with that. Right? What kind of income does that household bring in? Is it single income? Is it double income? Single mom, single dad? Like who are we messaging to? And you might have different avatars. That's what this is called. Like, who's your avatar? You might have different avatars in your business that you're catering your messaging to, that you're catering it to, but each message should cater to that specific audience. You might have different avatars, but you're not trying to speak to all at one time. So you've got to know, like, with intention, who is that messaging going towards each time. So that's your two-parter for who. First is, who are you? Second is, who is your audience? The next part, what? What is it that you are actually selling? What is it that you're actually selling? Do you even know? Maybe you're a landscaper. Maybe you cut grass, you trim the hedges, all that stuff for people, right? You make sure people's yards look good, all that. Is that really what you're selling? Is that service, cutting grass, is that really what you're selling? Actually, no. I think, personally, you're selling convenience. You're selling stress-free, hassle-free. Like, if I could pay somebody else to go cut my grass for me, that means I don't have to do it myself. So that gives me more time to be able to go do something else. So freedom even, right? Stress-free. Reduce time, or increase time actually, right? It's convenient. Maybe that's actually what you're selling. What if that was your marketing? What if that was your messaging? Or maybe you're a barber, right? Are you really selling haircuts or are you selling confidence? Think about how you feel when you get your hair done for the first time, or not the first time, but think about how you feel after you get your hair done, or how you feel after you get your hair cut, right? Fresh shave, hair looks good. Man, you get out of that chair feeling like Superman, right? So are you actually selling confidence, higher self-image, right? What is it that you're actually promoting? What is it that you're actually selling? Maybe you're a realtor. Maybe it's peace of mind that you're actually selling. It's not a home, it's peace of mind. It's security. So that's what I would really challenge you guys to do, is deep dive into not just what your service is, not just what your product is, but what is it that you're selling along with that? Like, how does the customer actually benefit from it? What's the real thing that you're giving them other than the tangible product or the service that you're offering? I was talking to a new client that we just signed up, and she has a event like decorating company is what it is. So they decorate for events, that kind of stuff. And we had that conversation, like, what is it that you're actually selling? And she was talking about the event decoration and planning that goes into and all that. I'm like, no, like, you're selling convenience. Like, the time and the research that you're putting in to plan this event out is time and energy that I don't have to do it. You're taking care of it for me. You're making it stress-free for me. You're making it more convenient for me now. You're making it easier for me. You're freeing up my schedule to be able to actually go do something else. And I don't have to worry because I know you've got it under control. And you come and you set up for the event as well. I don't have to put in the labor and the hard work to get all the decorations up, have to go buy them from the store, order them off Amazon, make sure it all comes in time. Like, you take all that off my plate. Psh, easy. Super easy. Going back to the barber example, like, talk about convenience. Man, how much more would you pay to have your barber just come meet you where you're at? Right? Let's say you're a high-performing individual. You got a busy, crazy lifestyle. You're always on the go, go, go. Like, what if your barber could just show up to you and get your hair and cut your hair for you? Like, what would you not pay more for that service? Of course you would, right? So, what is it that you guys are actually selling? It might not be the actual product or service that you're promoting. It might be something actually even bigger than that. But you got to deep dive. You got to fact find. You got to figure out what that is. You need to sit down and like really get this nailed out. And then once you figure it out, boom, start taking action on that with your messaging. And then the last one, you've got your what, or you got your who, you've got your what, right? And then the last step of that, I've already forgotten it. You got your who, you got your, so you know who you're marketing to, all of that. You know what it is that you're selling, and then you got your why. That was the last part, why. It took me a second, I had to catch back up. It's been a long day. But now you got your why, right? Why is it important? Why should somebody buy your product? Why should somebody buy your service? Now, this is the part where education comes into play. You know who you are, you know what you do, you know who you're marketing to, you know who your messaging is going to, you know what it is your product or service is, you know what it gives the customer, what they gain from it, but why is it important? Why should they buy it? How does it help them? Right? Now, this is where the education piece starts. Right? Education, we say this all the time, education leads to trust. So now you need to start educating people on why your service or why your product is important, why it meets their needs. Why should they take the urgency to take action to actually purchase your product or service? Why should they do more research into that topic? Like, now you start educating people on why this is important. Okay? Let's say you're in the medical field or in the medical industry, right? That why is huge. Educating people on why they need a certain treatment or why they should get routine checkups, or maybe you're a dentist, why they should get routine checkups at the dentist's office. Like, why do they need to stay on top of their hygiene? Why do they need to stay on top of, the brushing twice a day? Like, all that stuff, like, you start educating people on the why. And that's just free content you put out. Education. For example, what do you think we're doing right now? We're just giving you guys free education. You've got to start doing that with your clients. That'll be the piece right there that's going to separate you and make you the expert in your field now. When you start educating people on why, you start building trust, and you're real about it, you're authentic, right? And you know exactly who you're catering that messaging to, and you're confident, you're clear on what your product is. You start building that trust. You start building that loyalty, that rapport. You start to differentiate yourself now as the expert in that space. But again, all of that goes back to intention. You have to have an intentionality behind it. You're not just posting out content just to post content. You're not just having conversations just to have conversations. Like, all of it has a reason and an intention behind it as well. And remember, guys, there is a difference between marketing and advertising. Most people don't know the difference. There is a difference between marketing and advertising. To make it super simple for you, let's think about it this way. I want you to think about it right now. How many ads, since you woke up this morning, how many ads have you seen already since you woke up this morning? Between social media ads, just scrolling on Facebook, scrolling on Instagram, maybe TV commercials, TV ads, billboards that you've driven by today on your way to work. How many ads have you seen today? You probably couldn't even give me the number because you've seen so many of them. Your brain can't even keep up with how many ads you see a day. We're saturated with ads right now. Paid advertisement, paid content in order to push a sell of a product or a service. You're saturated with this every single day. Every single day. It gets to the point you're not even, like, you don't even notice the ads unless it's something you're intentionally looking for. So you're saturated with so many ads every day. What do you think, like, what makes you think your one social media post is going to help you stand out? Or your $10 you put behind boosting a post is going to help you really get more attention? It's not. You're not competing against those big players like the Coca-Colas, the Disneys, the Amazons, right? Like, you're not competing against those guys, right? They've got billions of dollars to put into advertisement. You don't have that as a small business owner or a medium-sized business owner. Like, you don't have that kind of money to put into ads. What if you took that same money and you put it into marketing? Not saying don't spend money on advertisement. Are there smart ways to do it? Yes, of course. Okay. Are there effective ways to do it? Yes, of course. But man, what if you were able to take that same money and put it behind a marketing campaign where you're actually taking action on it? You actually meet more people in person, make a real genuine connection that actually lasts better. Like if you just scrolled right now, you probably saw an ad from us from Rise. You're probably just dismissing, you keep going. But now you're sitting on a 30-minute call with us talking about marketing, and it's 30 minutes where we're engaged together now. It makes more of an impact. You meet me in person, we shake hands, we talk together. I send you my virtual business card. You see me at an event, like whatever the case may be with that, right? You get a gift in the mail, follow up. Like there's so many different forms of marketing. So many different forms of marketing. Like follow up is a form of marketing. Meeting people face to face obviously is a form of marketing. Doing stuff like this, like we're doing right now, live calls, podcasts, interviews, writing books. Like there's so many different ways of marketing. Advertising is a form of marketing. It is. But now marketing, like that's your energy. That's the actual action effort that you're putting in to get a result. It's the action that you're directly responsible for to put out, the output you're putting to be able to get a result back in. If I go put money behind this advertisement, I don't know if anybody's going to see it or not, or if I'm actually going to get a lead from it. We were driving down the road today and we saw here in Knoxville, we saw a billboard of a realtor. I'm not going to take the time to take my phone out and write that phone number down in my phone and save it for when I'm ready to talk to that person. Like to me, it's wasted space. What are other ways that you can get out and get in front of people? So this is where you got to start getting creative. Remember at the top, I told you guys, marketing should be your number one priority every single day. Every day, marketing should be your number one priority. How do you get in front of more people? How do you promote who you are and what you do? And can you get a result from it? Like, could you generate one new lead every day? Just one, bare minimum, one lead a day. You commit to that 365 days out of the year. That's 365 leads from you, just from that. Just from that. Remember, I said it's not just a one-size-fits-all thing. It's not just so, hey, you just do this and that's it. Like, yes, there are multiple things you need to be doing, but let's say with intention, you went out to just make one new contact a day. Name, cell number, email, like one new a day. That's 365 every year. On top of everything else that you do along with that. It's that easy. It's that simple. I don't want to say easy, but it is that simple. But you have to do that with intention. So get attention with intention so that way you guys can actually blow up your business and have more success. Your business exists to serve your customer. You should be wanting to try to get in front of as many people as you possibly can. But that's got to be an intention for you and your team every single day. So what's your who? Recap. What's your who? Who are you? Who are you promoting to? What is it that you're actually promoting? What is it that you're actually selling? And then why is it important? How can you educate people on how that can benefit them, how it can meet their needs, and why they need it? You take that into consideration. You make that marketing your priority every single day. That's how you guys are going to have major success, massive success, and you get your whole team on board with that as well. November 19th through the 21st, baby, right here, Knoxville, Tennessee. We are 5 days away from kicking off the event, and we can't wait to have you guys here in person with us, listen from our guest speakers, from our coaches, for you to explode your business in 2024. We're going to have even more events next year. We're going to be traveling the world. We'll be coming to a city near you. So if you don't make it to this one, you better make sure you're in the room at one of our ones coming up next year. You guys can find out more information coming out soon, so be on the lookout. Invite a friend to this next time. This Thursday, same thing, live, Rise and Thrive. And make sure you guys are ready to rock and roll. With that being said, it's time to grow or go. We'll see you guys next time.